Hey guys, Dark97 again. This time with a review of the 144th scale high-grade Duel Gundam Assault Shroud from the Gundam Seed series, and this is the remaster version. That means colors are slightly different. The one major color difference is that the gray, now instead of just being a normal dull gray, kinda has a gunmetal feel to it. If I compare it with the Slaughter Dagger here, and you can see that the joints are a little bit more shinier. This is more of a dull gray used with all of the older style Gundam Seed kits, whereas this is the gray used by the remasters. And then other differences, well, they're not really super different. Also, I can't really tell with absolute certainty because I don't have the old Duel Gundam, but from what I can tell, the blue seems to be a little bit lighter, and that is about it. The white just seems to be as white as ever. And then the orange, well, it might just be me trying to find difference, but maybe the orange is a little bit more yellowy. I don't know, but those are also all the colors you are getting with this machine. Blue, white, orange, and gray for most of the joints, accessory, and some small details here and there. And talking about coloring, that is also one of the few problems I have with this kit. The shoulders here, why couldn't those borders be gray like they should be? Also because this is a rather shiny gray, it is slightly harder, I think, to paint. Can't just use your normal gray, you will have to make it look a little bit more shiny. And then when we have a look at the shield, once again, this really, well, these parts really should have been molded in the correct colors. They could do it with the old Gym, they could do it with the old Gundam, so they sure as hell could have done it with the Gundam Seed models. But this does seem to be a trend going on, and the worst of it all is they didn't even give us stickers for it. So the question is, what did we get stickers for? Well, we got we got some of them. Of course, the eye stickers, one for the front camera. So the eye stickers are, of course, in there. The front camera. Then we have one that was used for the Assault Shroud. Well, the railgun on the Assault Shroud, and the others are also used for the Assault Shroud. Because the Assault Shroud itself, yeah, it's only in this color, with the exception of the gray. So the Assault Shroud comes molded in two colors, this kind of bluish gray, and then just normal gray. All the other colors you're gonna see are stickers. So we have one here, then one at the bottom, same on the other side, a orange one for the top, and then we get another orange one for the missile hatch. And I don't know, but this really doesn't look that great. I mean, this is quite obviously a sticker. It's not really that well hidden. So I'm not really a fan of what I did, and the sticker doesn't even seem to fit all that nice either. So yeah, Anyways, that's for all the normal stickers we get, and because this is the remaster version, we also get the generic sticker sheet we get with almost all of the remasters. The X09A, X10, well, one of them is a Justice, one of them is a Freedom. The X13A, that was, I think, the Providence. 515, Jin, Saigu, and then the other of the X's. So you get this sticker sheet with a lot of them. Big Zaft symbol, smaller Zaft symbol, two with just Zaft on it. This was, I think, symbol for the Archangel. It's probably gonna be for the Buster because, hey, he's also on the sticker sheet. Generic numbers, and oh yeah, phase shift armor in case you didn't know. So the generic sticker sheet aside, and let's have a look at the articulation of the normal Duel Gundam. Head goes a bit up, bit down, little bit forwards and backwards, but yeah, that's mainly because it's a little bit on the loose side. Not really sure if it's supposed to do that. Turns around all the way. So yeah, standard head articulation. Arms turn around all the way. This flap goes up, and then the arm gets about 90 degrees, turns around. below the shoulder, bends at the elbow at one joint. For the standard 90 degrees, hands are on ball joints, wiggle around, turn around, and do everything a ball joint does. Waist turns around a little bit. You could make the argument that, hey, if you extend it enough, it will turn around all the way, but this doesn't really look that great. But the good thing is, you can push him back down, and now it looks like he had a horrible accident. So let's put him back the way he should. And there we go. Turn him around a little bit, articulation on the backpack. Thrusters go a tiny bit up and down. But then again, that's all you really need. These upper thrusters aren't going to move at all because, as you can see, they're molded in blue together with the backpack. Side skirts go a little bit up and down. Legs go out very nicely thanks to those side skirts, and forwards all the way and backwards all the way because, of course, we don't have any front skirts or side skirts. So thank God for the design. So a little bit side to side because it is, of course, on a ball joint. Legs bent at 2 joints, and that's about all we're going to get. Yeah, it could have been a bit more, but for the time, yeah, this is still acceptable. Feet. As you can see, the feet are really uninhibited by anything going on. So go forwards, backwards, side to side a little bit. But strangely enough, do not turn around all the way. Even though I was kind of expecting, but then you see, of course, this is going to stop it from moving around. So as far as articulation goes, considering the time, it had some rather good articulation, and as far as the Gundam seat models go, I think this might be one of the best articulations out there because, of course, no front skirts. Keep that good articulation in mind until we get to the Assault Shroud. But let's have a look at the accessories the Duel Gundam gets in his normal mode. We, of course, have his standard beam rifle combination with the torpedo. Unfortunately, that thing isn't going anywhere. Just 2 halves slapped together and then the tip of the barrel on it. The good news is it fits in the hand like a glove. If you remember the beam rifle of the Strike, that thing went everywhere. There we go. So it kind of snaps in place. You really have to put it in a specific pose, but once you have it, it's not going anywhere, so that's really good. But like I said, if you even do it a little bit off, it's gonna go all over the place. But still, the beam rifle is really good. Then we get 2 beam sabers. They fit in the hand really nicely, so it does deserve to be called the Duel Gundam. He can hold his beam sabers no problem. And surprise, surprise, we get clear beams, one of the few mobile suits of the Gundam Seed line that actually came with clear beams. Thank God for that, and they fit once again like a glove. So as far as the dual accessories go, so far so good. Of course, we also get the shield, which is a little bit less good, but fits onto both arms no problem. And we do get 2 pegs, so you can put it the other way around too. So that is all for the normal duel. But then, of course, how about the Assault Shroud? And before we move on with the Assault Shroud armor, just keep this in mind. Just look at the colors. Just look how correct they are, with the exception of this. Look at the articulation and how he can even pull off a kneeling pose. Relatively easy, a lot easier when compared to most other models. There literally aren't a lot of models out there that can do this, especially at this time. This was a very novel feature back in 2002. So now let's bring on the Assault Shroud. I'm going to start off with the good parts I really like about the Assault Shroud. But here you can already see what the fuck happened to the colors. It's not supposed to be a gray piece of plastic. Admittedly, it does look good, but it's just not supposed to be like that. It should have a lot more colors. But hey, it still looks good, so I guess that is what's important. Then, going on, we have the stuff you can put on the shoulders, the railgun. I have to say, that looks awesome. So far, so good. Then, of course, there's still the other arm, which gets the missile launchers, which has a missile launcher with small missiles, and this is where things get less good. If you get a missile launcher, you would hope that you could open it up. Well, tough luck. It ain't happening. It's not opening up. It doesn't look that great with the sticker on, so it's already going downhill. Then we extend the arms a little bit and we get the front armor piece. And this is the biggest piece of crap of this entire kit. This is one solid piece, and look, there are front skirts on it. You know what that means? Well, remember how I said that this was one of the few kits that could do a kneeling pose? Well, thanks a fucking lot. Gone is all the great articulation he once had, and now the assault shroud is literally a brick. 'Cause that's everything we're gonna get out of it. Fan-fucking-tastic. And, well, there's also one we gotta put on the back, and it's going to be no surprise that it is also a solid brick. But to be honest, that's not really that surprising. There are hardly any kits that have a movable back skirt anyways. So, yeah, like I said, gone is that great articulation in the legs, and that's all you're going to get now. I gotta say, that is by far the biggest disappointment of this entire kit. Seriously. Now, we're going to get on with the leg armor. Thankfully, it doesn't hinder the articulation, but it just doesn't look all that great. I mean, it's just a great piece of plastic you slap on the legs. These thrusters should have been colored. We're not even getting stickers, though. I'm not sure if that's such a bad thing, given how bad the other stickers are. Also, you might want to be careful removing this because, yeah, they're not that easy to get back off. They're easy to get on because they simply peg into the holes on the leg here. And we're getting that on. Also, another problem I have with the Assault Shroud is it's based on the failed full armor Gundam. And don't be deceived by the amount of model kits that thing has gotten. Originally, the full armor Gundam was a failed concept, as in it was never made. It got a computer simulation thing, but then they decided, no, this isn't going to be good enough, so they never made it. Until, of course, we got a few retcons, and now we don't know who he fought. But on with the Assault Shroud, we also get these things to put on his lower arms. They just peg into the places where the shield would peg in, but don't worry because you see there's a slit here, and for that slit we get an extra shield adapter, and that just slides in there, and it's in there really securely. And once again we get the usual double peg, so just put this on, and then you can still put on the shield once you remove the old peg. And now we have the Duel Gundam in his Assault Shroud. And unfortunately, I gotta say, it is actually a lot less impressive than the Duel. It's just a big chunky piece of plastic with less articulation. And the whole point of the Assault Shroud is it's supposed to make the Duel look a little bit more bulky and intimidating, but this, no. As always, the inevitable question is, Do you want to buy this? And for the first time ever, the answer is extremely split. Yes, but also no, depending entirely on which mode you're going for. And if you don't know where I'm going with this, you might want to watch this review again. If you want the Assault Shroud, which is essentially on this kit, just a giant piece of plastic with a few stickers on it, which don't even look good, well then the answer is obviously going to be a big no, 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 no. If you want the Assault Shroud as a model kit, then go for either one of the 1/100 scales, be it the high grade, which is more anime accurate, or the master grade, which is more detailed. But this, no, it's static, hollow, and the stickers look horrible. Sufficient to say that this is really abysmal. And the worst part of it all is, this is supposed to be an add-on to make the Duel stronger, but yet in this model kit it makes the Duel way, way, way worse. So be gone with this. Now, let's say you want the Duel, or you want to use a few parts to kind of enhance it, and I left that on by mistake, there we go. So if you want to kind of enhance it with a few things here and there that you like, and you see it in this model, well, those leg thrusters don't look that bad, or maybe I can do something with that, but you're mainly gonna go for the Duel itself, then absolutely yes. As far as Gundam Seed models go, well, it has a few minor flaws. The one that kind of annoys me the most is that there's no gray on these shoulders. It really would have brought them a bit more, yeah, it would have been much better. Now just plain white, it would have made them look a little bit more elaborate like they should be. Also, the shield, well, they were able to mold the crest with the Jim and the Gundam, so why couldn't they do it here? Those two were made first, so you think that they could also easily do it on the Duel, the Strike, and also the daggers. They don't have their crest molded in. So yeah, all a little bit weird, but overall, this is still a very nice model. Articulation might be, well, might just be one of the best articulations any Gundam Seed model has. Well, early Gundam Seed models, of course. Contemporary Gundam Seed models, this, yeah, it's really good. A lot of articulation. So that's pretty much all there is to say for it. And for 1,200 yen, well, of course, considering that the Assault Shroud armor isn't exactly great, it might be a little bit on the expensive side for what you're getting. But also, let's look at it from the other way around. Why couldn't they just make this kit a little bit more expensive and just put a little bit more effort into the Assault Shroud armor? That's just what majorly pisses me off about this model kit. Just make it 1,500 yen, but give us a decent Assault Shroud. I mean, how hard can it be to just make a few movable side skirts, which are obvious, front skirts, I mean, which are obviously there, just bang them in or whatever, just give us some kind of articulation, give us some kind of color separation. I mean, there already is orange on the mobile suit. You don't just have to go on and invent an entire new runner in a completely different color. Just put these things on the same fucking runner. It's not that hard to do. And 1,500 yen was already established by the Q-Blade, the Zaku 3, well, both Zaku 3s and both Q-Blades. So it's just extremely unfortunate, really. But yeah, so the eventual conclusion is, well, the Duel is definitely a good model kit, but the Assault Shroud, no. If you're a fan of the Assault Shroud, do not buy this. Fans of the Duel, well, if you're willing to pay 1,200 yen for this, and the chance to modify him a little bit, then go for it. Now, for some comparisons, here we have the Blitz and the Duel, the Blitz and the Buster. Of course, we also have the Duel here. Now, these are also both remastered versions. And because I can, here he is next to his BFF, the Ailstrike. And yeah, comparing him next to the new Master Grade, the Assault Shroud looks even worse. Then, next up on the line, we've got the Slaughter Dagger. And to wrap it up, let's compare him to a normal-sized high-grade universal sentry, such as the Gem Sniper, which actually has a very, very similar color scheme. At least the White Dingo version does, especially now with those white shoulders. Well, that's all for this review, and see you guys next time.